Hey, we too good and strong of a people to keep going through the Hey, bro. Hey, I get on here and I say this, bro, because, bro, we unstoppable, man. Man, we the only thing that's in our way, nigga, us. But I love my people, fam. Hey, I don't care, man. Listen, dog. Hey, I do what God put on my heart, man. Because, hey, some people gotta hear this, man. Man, we gotta wake up and stand on 10, bro. We gotta stand on 10, man. Stop letting this world manipulate us, dog. Fuck the alcohol, the drug, and everything, bro. I'm saying that I'm talking to myself, cause I know, nigga, when I'm locked down, I know, bro, listen. Man, get that envy and jealousy out your heart, my nigga. And I promise you, you gonna rise, my nigga. You gonna get whatever you want in this life. God will give it to you, man. Don't go out here trying to take nothing, man. Man, them bullies getting blown down, man. Man, nigga, hey, listen, man. Work for what you want, nigga. Believe in you first, man. And rise and climb, man. And let's skip off this line shit.
Black people make up about a third of the population of the U.S. prisons, yet they only make up like 13 to 15% of the general population in the United States. Why is that? Because I was told growing up that they were dangerous, they were criminals, that I should stay away from them. If you haven't seen me before, I've been talking on this app about how I was born and raised in the Deep South, raised to be a racist, and how I've been breaking that down for the last 15 years. When you hear statistics like that, it's easy to make assumptions, right? Like if Black people are only 13% of the population, but they're like 33% of the prison population, then yeah, they must be criminals. They must be dangerous. But I really had to unravel this. That's one of the reasons I say that I've been breaking my racism down for the last 15 years, because it takes time, right? Like there's so many things that you have to think through. And my first connection with this was when I had to do a research paper in college, circa 2006, in a philosophy class about ethics, and I did mine on capital punishment. And what I found was that Black men were much more likely to be sentenced to death than their white counterparts when they're charged with the same crime. That was shocking to me. It makes me realize is that if our judicial system is so racist that they will put a man to death because he's Black, when his counterpart for the same crimes will only be sent to life in prison because he's white, then what do you think they're doing for misdemeanors? What do you think they're doing for nonviolent felonies? You know, that's one thing to think about when talking about statistics and if Black people are inherently more violent. Another thing you can think about too, the biggest indicator of crime is poverty. If somebody is in poverty, they're much more likely to commit crimes. We have been discriminating and keeping Black people out of better education, better housing, better jobs, better opportunities, ways to pull themselves out of their situation. We've limited their access and opportunities to amass wealth. And so they are more likely to be in poverty, which means they're more likely to commit crimes. But that has nothing to do with the fact that they're Black and their Blackness inherently makes them more predisposed to being criminals. It's because the system that we have built as white people keeps them in poverty, and poverty leads to crime. Something else I think we should consider too is Black neighborhoods are historically over-policed. Like the police are out there looking for a problem, right? And they're gonna find it. I grew up in a white suburban area, didn't see a whole lot of police presence. You know what was happening? White boys walking around the street doing stuff they shouldn't have been doing. Drugs being sold. cars getting broken into by white boys walking around the street like they shouldn't have been doing. But there wasn't a big police presence. They just skirted on through. Police are out in black neighborhoods looking for trouble. And I'm not saying that if they're out there and they find trouble that something shouldn't be done, but why aren't you policing the white neighborhoods? Again, this just shows that like there are way other things. This dog. It just shows that there's a lot more to statistics and a lot more going on than just, you know, black people are incarcerated at higher rates than what's equivalent to how much of the population they make up. And you can't just point to that and be like, oh, well, that's because they're more dangerous. Do you think black people are inherently more dangerous? That they're predisposed to violence and crime? Or do you think that there are significant factors influencing why there's a much greater percent population of black people in prison?
The way that white men talk about black fathers is 100% projection, and here's why. A lot of white men like to pretend they're so superior to other races and other men, when in reality, a lot of white dads are either drug addicts or alcoholics, physically present but emotionally absent, or such intense workaholics they don't even know their children's birthdays. So really what I see this as a fundamental problem with the way that men are socialized to treat women and children as extensions of themselves, not necessarily as important. And so while the stereotype is that black men will have children and not stick around, the white men who do stick around, because trust me, there are plenty of absentee white fathers, they aren't necessarily caring for their kids' emotional or physical needs. And a physically present dad but emotionally absent one is very, very traumatic for a lot of kids. I mean, just look at the children of a lot of rich parents. They're absolute tyrants, and they themselves are drug addicts because they know in their hearts that their parents do not give a shit about them, especially their dads. And so if you want to talk about daddy issues, then we need to talk about all races that are neglecting their kids, because it's absolutely not just the stereotype.
If you look statistically, the highest population that commits crime is straight white men. The data is showing that men are the issue and that particular white men are the issue. Yep. Why aren't we focusing on them? But they don't. They want to focus on an easy target because the immigrant doesn't have any rights. Yes. Can't speak up for themselves, can't defend themselves, and now they're just being rounded up regardless of their status or not.
On September 2nd, 2018, Zach Fox tweeted, "This is how the photos be looking in headlines when a white man kills his entire family." This is the Museum of Twitter, the show we talk about the most important tweets in the history of Twitter.com. And as a reminder, these are the two places you can find this show when this app goes away. I am not stopping until at least 1,000 episodes, and so you'll find the next 800 plus episodes in these two places. This tweet is about a topic that I know the algorithm won't like and will require me to say a lot of words that the algorithm definitely won't like, so I figure I might as well do it on my way out. Because Zach Fox is exactly right. This is the type of photo that they use when a white man kills his entire family. And as much as we don't want to talk about it, white guys kill their entire family way too often. In fact, there's a term for it. It's called a family annihilator. I'm oversimplifying it, but basically it's when a guy is too ashamed about himself for one reason or another. Did he lose his job? Does he think he's pathetic? Yada yada. That rather than live with that, or rather than just get rid of himself, he's like, no, I have to take my entire family down with me because I'm a pathetic piece of shit. And one would think that maybe killing your entire family would make you no longer get the benefits of whiteness, the benefit of the doubt from the media that whiteness gets you. But as Zach Fox's tweet shows, and all the responses to it definitely show, no, it doesn't. Even if you kill your entire family, the media will still use photos of you having fun, of you smiling. When of course, if a person of color steals a candy bar, they'll show a mugshot. This is one of those tweets that is best discussed with examples, like this one, where a guy who killed his entire family after his wife asked for a divorce. They show a photo of him and his family smiling on vacation. When Metro ran a story about this guy Chris Watts, who killed his wife and 2 daughters, did they show his mugshot? No, of course they didn't. Even though he's in jail, they had a photo of him in an orange jumpsuit somewhere. But no, they didn't use that photo. They used a photo of him, his wife, and his 2 daughters smiling. And when the New York Post tweeted about a guy who killed himself, his wife, and his 3 children, they had 3 different photos that they could have used his mugshot in. And they didn't in any of them. One was a selfie, one was his 3 kids, and one was all of them smiling together. And if you think this only applies to families, you'd be wrong. It applies to all white people. Like a Michigan shooting suspect who they showed these photos of him looking innocent, literally praying. This suspect literally committed a hate crime. And oh, what's the photo they use of him? Of him fishing. And yes, while this is normally white men, it also can work for white women. Like this drunk driver who killed a woman and an unborn child. She was arrested. There exists a mugshot of her, but that's not what they use. They use a photo of her smiling. I'm getting worked up about this because obviously this is such an insidious bias. There is no reason why people who committed heinous crimes should get the benefit of having positive pictures whenever their story's told. I'm not saying that you need to nail these people to the wall and only show their mugshot ever, but when you present a photo of a guy who killed his entire family, happy with that family, that just paints a really disturbing picture, and it makes it seem like you're on his side. A guy who does that does not deserve one moment of the world thinking he might have just been a normal father who smiled with his kids. And Zach Fox choosing a photo of someone jet skiing really is accurate. It often is people doing silly stuff. I mean, Jake Burdett literally found an example of someone actually jet skiing. When he Googled Joe Pelzinski, a spree killer who killed his whole family, the first Google image result is Joe jet skiing. It's so on the nose. In case you're wondering, by the way, the photo that Zach Fox uses is not actually of someone who killed their whole family. I reverse image searched it, and I don't know if this is the first time it's ever been used, but I think it is. It's from a site for a place called Snug Harbor. It is a resort on Buckeye Lake in Ohio, and it's a photo of people having fun jet skiing on the lake. So in that case, I do feel kind of bad for this guy who unknowingly is the face for killing your entire family on Twitter. But seriously, if you've never seen this tweet before, I want you to keep it in mind as you go through the world, and I'm positive within the next 5 to 6 months, you will see a headline and photo combination that are exactly this. I really mean it. There's no way this will not happen, and once you know to look for it, you see it everywhere. As far as Twitter observations go, it's one of the most accurate of all time. Here's the reminder of where you can find this show after this app goes away, and honestly, doing this episode, just saying all the words and not using euphemisms and not trying to find ways to talk about things in algorithmic-friendly language really cements my decision to not go to another algorithm-based site, so don't recommend any site that has an algorithm, because I really want to be free of ever thinking about what words the algorithm doesn't like, because this episode was so much more fun and freeing to do than a lot of the other ones I've done. So yeah, these are the two places you'll
When a Latina gets angry, people call it spicy, sexy, esa es una tóxica, right? When a white woman gets angry, oh, poor Sally, oh my gosh, poor her. She's just having such a bad day. Oh my gosh, she must be going through so much. Oh my gosh, poor her. When a white man gets angry, he's stressed, he hit his breaking point, he's having a bad day, it's mental health. But when a black woman gets angry, she's ghetto, she's ratchet, she's loud, she's aggressive, she's masculine, she's too much. When a black man shows anger, hurt, frustration, grief, or pain, now he's violent, now he's dangerous, now he's a threat, now people clutch their bags, people get scared, people cross the street. Now people reach for excuses to justify why they never wanted to understand him in the first place. And do not tell me it's about behavior, do not tell me it's about tone, do not tell me it's about how it's expressed, because the same emotions coming out of different bodies get labeled completely differently depending on the skin they're housed in. That is conditioning. That is not a coincidence, and that is not fair. Black pain is not allowed to be human pain.
As a black person, I am no longer afraid to admit, now that I have your attention, hey black people, I want you to pay attention to your views and your engagement on any video that you make about this subject matter, which has literally turned into us ripping each other to shreds on this app. And the reason I'm inviting you to do this is because I'm starting to notice a trend. Whenever there's a trend that involves us being especially cruel to each other, going back and forth talking about each other, clashing, it's very, very easy for people to go viral talking about that. I'm talking accounts that are in Suppression City, accounts that are in the 200 view jail. If you see videos on this subject matter, just look at the creators' views on this subject versus everything else that they talk about, and you will see a stark difference. You'll also notice that this is being pushed more heavily to your FYP, even when you engage in other trending topics. I just want y'all to notice and pay attention to that, because whenever we are on here being negative towards each other, suddenly we are getting released from Suppression City.
Look, I don't like doing part twos, but for real, guys, are you begging white people to date you? Are you guys begging white people to date you? Look, I'm pro love. I love love. Love is beautiful. Like when it's organic, when it's original, when it's authentic, I love it. I love love. But you guys are begging white people to date you. Like, where's your self-esteem, guy? What do you mean? What do you mean? Do you date black girls? Oh, girl, you are 10. You are literally a beautiful black woman, a queen at 10. What are you doing? What are you doing? Pasta and lobster. You are allergic to shellfish. What are you doing, girl? Stop it. Get up. Please stop it. Please stop doing this. You're embarrassing yourself. You are at 10. You are beautiful. What are you doing? Are you securing the bag? Is that what you're doing? Securing the bag? That guy is broke. That guy is broke. You broke. This is a broke love. This is Romeo and Juliet, the broke version. Stop it. Stop it. Get up. Get up. Please stop it. Stop begging white people to love you. Stop it.
Black men have failed the black community by not being good leaders and not knowing the meaning of brotherhood. I know a lot of people talk about fatherlessness being a problem in the black community, and it really is, because here's the thing. The men are the leaders, and a lot of men are not leading their families, which is the foundation for any strong community. They're getting women that they don't want to be with pregnant, and they're leaving their kids. People like to say, well, fathers are the most active in their child's life. Just being present, like you see your kid on the weekends or stuff, doesn't mean anything if you're not passing down any principles or any morals or just giving them any kind of guidance in life. That's just not something we have anymore. Black men abandoned the leadership role and gave it to single mothers. When the black men don't lead, the women have no one to go to, and the children can't depend on anybody. And they're just going to be raised up dumb and unprotected because nobody's leading them anywhere. Nobody's looking out for them. It starts with the man. And when it comes to brotherhood, this is something that pisses me off about black men. Like, we understand that we are the #1 target by everybody. So why are we not looking out for each other? Y'all definitely look out for each other when it comes to no snitching culture and protecting criminals, but never to just make sure that your brother's good. We're more likely to be victimized by somebody who looks like us than an actual white supremacist. And I know it's just proximity crime, but that's still an issue. We can't just say like, oh, well, it just happens because black men, we just live amongst other black men and it just happens. It doesn't have to be that way. You have more smoke for somebody that steps on your shoes by accident than a racist cop. This is how a lot of y'all think, and I'm supposed to believe there's so many strong black men out there. I know there's some black men out there that think like me, but a lot of us are alone. Like, we don't have like a huge social group at all because there's no black brotherhood. We're at a point in history where black men have the ability to become the most dominant men in this country. But what do we get? A bunch of YNs. The older generation, the black men that are supposed to be our leaders, they're giving all these YNs and all these idiots a whole bunch of excuses because, oh, they're just young and that's what young people do. What? You're supposed to be the leaders that makes it better for the future generation. But when you're seeing madness going on, you say, well, that's just how young people are. The elders aren't even getting the community in line at all anymore. They're just going, that's just the way it is. And we wonder why we're in shambles. That's why my respect for black men is so low, because this is where we're at right now. I just want us to be leaders again and have each other's back, but that seems like a fantasy. That used to be the norm. That used to be black culture. But now, just giving up.
White people hung my people from trees less than 100 years ago. So in a generation, we're supposed to believe that y'all actively taught your children that this was wrong. The white women that were screaming behind little black girls to take them little N-words up out of our school and removing their children from schools because little black girls were trying to get an education, they had children. I don't know if you know this. They had children. Those children saw their mothers hate black people so much. Do you think that those children were taught that what they did was wrong? Or did they have children and they keep going? The same people that put little black kids in zoos and made them eat watermelons, they had children. Do you get what I'm saying? The people that took fire hoses and sprayed black bodies because they were protesting and trying to create civil rights, they had children. You know those white people today that say my father and my father's father and we've been firefighters for 4 generations? Let me see your family photos. Do your grandma got postcards in the attic? I need to take a look. Stop pretending like it was so far away. And yeah, you could reference slavery if you want to because it's valid, but less than, I'll say 75 years ago. We're talking about 1 generation. So Papa don't go to Thanksgiving no more? Okay.
And the first indicator for me that all this shit was some bullshit, that they got us down here doing a whole bunch of bullshit and that people is full of bullshit, is when my grandma used to send us to vacation Bible school and they was talking about that a woman came from a man's ribs. And I used to ask my granny, I used to say, they in there talking about men can have babies. I didn't know that was a thing. And she used to tell me to shut the fuck up and don't question the Lord. And she used to make me go get a switch off the tree and she would beat my ass. That's how I knew that all this shit was some bullshit. If you tell me to shut the fuck up and to don't question the Lord, and I'm asking you a serious question, you want some bullshit. My granny was the first bullshitter that I ever knew. The people in my family, they all been on some bullshit my entire life. And that's when I just started realizing that all this shit is nothing but bullshit. People out here fucking off and playing around and trying to get people to think that it's one thing and then tell you walk by faith and not by sight. I'm seeing some bullshit, so I'm gonna call it out. I've been knew all this shit my whole life was a fucking illusion that these people down here tripping. And then they want to make it seem like, oh, you just talk too much. You don't know how to mind your business. You don't know how to shut the fuck up. I don't, because there's some bullshit going on. And you telling me to not lean on my own understanding when I clearly see y'all out here fucking around.
So we've just really lost the plot, I think. We've been using terms like anti-black and respectability politics to shield just terrible, embarrassing behavior, and I want it to stop. When you shield bad behavior by calling it anti-black to speak on it, you're literally saying that that is black culture, and I just don't think that's true. Like Zeus Network is not black culture, but it's becoming synonymous because people are protecting it. Why? I don't know, man. Some things just are ghetto and tacky, and we should be able to speak on that without being called anti-black. I'm not anti-black because I want better for black people, because I love black people. It's not about the approval of racists. It's not about anything but a better functioning community and like representation, because this does not represent me. Okay,
I grew up in the suburbs, and I just remember how important it was to white people to like name things after black people. We would have a classroom pet. Let's name it Daquan. Why? Let's name it Tyreek. Why? What's funny about those names? What's funny about Laquita? Quickly.
If you want your ideas to come out the way you imagine them, you have to execute them as soon as possible. And if you are somewhere where you can't execute the idea, write it down on a notebook or a piece of paper so that once you look at it again, you'll be able to retain that information and be able to execute the idea at a different moment. But if you're somewhere where you can execute that idea, do it right then and there, because that's how it's going to be most accurate to.
I just came on here to say that I'm keeping my child as far away from ghetto shit as possible. I hate everything that come with it. Like, I hate the way that people glamorize the hood, glamorize everything about the ghetto. And it's so stupid to me, because when you know better, you do better. But people in the hood don't seem to understand that that is not a good life to be living. Why do my people promote things like going to jail, stealing, doing things that they know they ain't got no business to doing? Drugs, sex, alcohol, just everything that goes against what, we supposed to really be doing out here in life. That is not the life. Oh, I'm so hood. Oh, this and that. Like, that's not the life. That is really holding our people back. I'm tired of it. If you got ghetto kids, they cannot hang around my child, because no way, Jose. Lord, please free my people from the hood mentality. It is ruining our people. Free us. Free us. Free us.
So guys, a lot to be said. A lot has been said, and it has been a beautiful video watching, and I am very excited most of the times when I find a video of these white people that make a deliberate decision to fight for the black people and fight all the injustices that have been done to them. I must say that is very commendable, and to even think that we are actually commending people for just being human, that is, and I'm saying this because I understand that people that have that kind of IQ, people that are that emotionally intelligent, are able to understand what I'm saying when I say we should not be living in a world where we are constantly thanking people for doing what is right, because that is exactly what the whole world should be doing. That is exactly what every other race should be doing to each other, protecting one another as if you are family, because you are. And Jen Elliott keeps saying this one thing that I keep, it keeps coming up in my mind every now and then, that we're just a human race. We're not black. If you cut my skin right now, you'd not find anything different from if you did a white person or any yellow or whatever color you'd like to think. we are all a human race. We need to be operating as such. We need to be working so hard to push these narratives away that these people are better than this, you know. And for the white people that are standing up for black people, you're what this world needs. You're exactly where you need to be, because this world is supposed to have people like you, so you are in the right place. And for the rest of them that do not want to understand, you know, sometimes I watch videos and what I gather is that people just choose not to understand these things, because what black people are always trying to pass across is not anything that is rocket science. It's not that hard to understand. So it's just a deliberate decision that they do not want to understand. And even if they do not want to implement anything they have learned that is different. They thrive in making others sad. They thrive in making black people suffer. They thrive in watching black people go through a lot of discrimination and all that. And they actively take part in that. So, and they actually even teach their own children to grow up into humans that are monsters. That is exactly what they're trying to do, because how then do you explain when you find out that you have dark characters? How do you explain trying to pass that across to your children? It's the worst thing that anyone could do. And they're just making sure that even if they left the world today, God forbid, they still have people that have inherited their trait. They have people that will continue and keep up with whatever they are trying to do right now. That is very unfortunate, to say the least. Yeah, so that is what I have for you today. I hope you have enjoyed the videos and you have a lot to say. And I am ready to get your responses to this, your reaction. Yeah, basically. And for those people that have just joined the family, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I have seen lots and lots of subscribed, and I'm so happy. Thank you so much for choosing to be here. This is family, and you're always welcome. For the people that are watching this and they have for some reason forgotten to subscribe, kindly go back and subscribe to my channel for you to find this kind of videos and more. And I have also done a lot of other videos that you could consider going back to and watching, so that you know where we're coming from and where we're headed in this channel. Yeah, and I hope you people are keeping well, all of you. I hope you're keeping safe and being a brother's keeper. We are all that we have, and yeah, let's make sure that we are looking out for each other and keep safe. I wish you well, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye for now.